Have you ever wondered if Ebenezer Scrooge was the only one visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present and yet to come? What if Scrooge was just the most prominent of all of them, but others were guided on the right path in the same way? Who would be behind it and how would that operation look like? Hi there, it's Micha. If this sounds intriguing to you, then join me for this short review video. And if you think this premise is humbug, still come in, maybe you may change your mind. Somewhere in the afterlife, spirits have joined forces to run a bureau focusing on bettering people in general. Each year they select one perp, a curmudgeon, grump, whatever you want to call them, someone who would be able to make the world a little bit of a better place, but just choose to do the opposite so far. That person they then try to turn away from the dark side, meticulously planning on what to show them in their past, present and future. On Christmas Eve they then put that plan into motion so that their targets are willing to change their ways going forward. This year's perp is a hotel manager who makes his staff's life a living hell, so changing him would better the lives of a few hundred people. However, Present, short for the ghost of Christmas present, a master of his craft and doing a great job at it for decades, has another idea after he witnesses Clint Briggs, a media consultant, working the crowd in the hotel's conference room. Much rather would Present work on turning Clint, because with his influence and charisma, his impact might reach thousands, maybe millions of people. However, Present's supervisor, one Jacob Marley, refuses this as Clint was classified to be unredeemable. So it would just be a waste of time and effort. Half a musical number later, because yes, this is a musical.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he's definitely.
No, he's fine. He's good.
Jacob is willing to give Present's idea a go. All their enthusiasm aside though, this Christmas Eve, Clint surely turns out to be a tough nut to crack. Obviously being nonplussed by the ghostly presentation.
The guy is a level 20 bang in the Dickens.
Usually perps are completely shocked at first, then seeing the arrows in their way, which makes them correct the course of their lives. Clint though is doing nothing of that kind. He is questioning the whole process, interrupting the hauntings by asking questions.
So out of all the people on the planet, murderers, people who do gender reveal parties, I'm the guy you're gonna haunt.
Commenting on the team's eye for detail recreating the past, even critiquing the moments in his life they have chosen for this ride. In a nutshell, he is not shaken by any of it. A first, something this spirited organization has never encountered before.
La 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 la, I'm not watching your dramatic re-encrapment.
Hey, I'm haunting you. You can't just run away from me when I'm haunting you. Hello?
However, throughout this adventure, Clint and Present developed some kind of a friendship, and slowly both of them start to re-evaluate their lives and look for ways to better them. How will it all end? Well, check out the movie to find out more, cause I tried to stay spoiler free here. A Christmas Carol is a true classic, and for the most parts, as far as I know, it was always Ebenezer Scrooge who could be found at the center of each adaptation. Except for Scrooged, where Bill Murray, in a meta approach to the subject, was producing a live TV version of the classic while being visited by the ghosts himself. Here we have a musical that looks behind the scenes of the spirits, offering a new angle. Therefore, this play on the original concept is a new and quite fresh take. So it is a little bit confusing to me that some critics were complaining about its lack of improvement over the previous adaptations of the novella. First off, it is not a strict adaptation of the novella, so how could it improve on other versions? And if they are referring to a different take, adding something new, then how much more do they expect to be satisfied? As it tries to be different, maybe we should allow that and review this cinematic iteration based on its own merits, shall we? Let's start with the actors. As with a good cast, you are always halfway there. With Will Ferrell as Present and Ryan Reynolds as Clint in the leads, you can't really go wrong. Both of them are basically playing their usual persona, which I don't mean in a demeaning way. They both have developed well-crafted character archetypes that they bring into most of their high-profile roles. When you watch a movie with them, you pretty much know exactly what you get. And they are beloved for that, and rightfully so. Likely they are just playing it close to home, having crafted them based on their own personality. And to be fair, both of them also have successfully proven that they can play against that expectation. So why change a winning concept? And in this movie, they also apply this effortlessly. A little bit of a new element for them was that they sing in this one. Though I believe to have seen, or better heard, Ferrell sing in some other movies like Casa de mi Padre and of course The Producers. Ryan I can't remember to have heard singing before though. Objectively, Ferrell sounded more comfortable and experienced, while Reynolds sometimes sounded a bit thinner. But overall, both did a completely fine job here. The performances of the other cast members were also strong, with especially Octavia Spencer standing out. You also got some cool cameos, and Tracy Morgan voicing the 7-foot-high Grim Reaper-style ghost of Christmas Yet to Come is a nice treat as well. Production values were also high, but with a $75 million budget, nothing less should be expected. It felt and sounded like a musical that belongs into theaters, where it only was screened for a limited time in a few countries. Otherwise, it could be found on Apple TV Plus straight away. On one hand, I understand that streaming services want to produce quality entertainment, and Apple usually does a good job here. But on the other hand, for a movie like this, I would have wished to see it on the big screen, which was not an option in Germany. Well, fortunately I have a 75-inch TV, so it wasn't too bad.
You know what? Forget it.
By the way, I was really proud of myself that halfway through the movie I thought that the rhythm of the songs, especially the lyrics, reminded me of The Greatest Showman. And it turned out that the same duo, Benj Pasek and Justin Paul, have written the songs for this one as well. The musical numbers here are fun throughout and well crafted, though I think as a whole the soundtrack of The Greatest Showman is clearly superior, but maybe that estimation may change after repeat viewings, which I can imagine for Spirited around further Christmases yet to come. Side note, if you haven't seen The Greatest Showman, do it after you finished watching this review. The songs are easy on the ears, the movie is light and fun, all in all a fantastic musical. As long as you don't ask for historic accuracy when it comes to the payment of circus performers and P.T. Barnum's actual biography. But for me personally, in a musical, I'm looking for entertainment, not realism. With that being said, let's get into the rating. But before we go there, let me ask you to like and share this video if you enjoyed it so far. And if you are no subscriber yet, maybe consider to change that. By also hitting the notification bell, you will get a heads up for most of my new videos. Now for the rating. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie and I can see this becoming a Christmas classic and maybe even spawn a sequel. Is it a perfect movie? No, but which one is? I think some critics were too tough on it though, because it just wants to entertain us and not reinvent its genre. Like I said before, what I'm looking for in a musical is the entertainment value and catchy songs. If the movie delivers more, then even better, but this extra doesn't have to be highbrow. Though I also appreciate that. Here we have a simple and heartwarming message that just fits in. Yeah. Some parts of the movie's end are predictable from the very start, which partially is by design. Personally, I found that even more of the big twists are predictable, but checking with a few friends I noticed that those were not obvious to everyone. Maybe I just paid too much attention to some details. As it didn't spoil my fun, it was fine though. The one big event near the end that I'm referencing, no worries, I'm not spoiling it for you, may appear a bit dissatisfying and out of place at first. However, with some small additions and tweaks to the mythology, they turned it all around again and made it work, leaving us with a satisfying and well-rounded experience. How does that translate into a score? Well, even though it was very charming, it was not excellent, but it was great. So I'm rating it with 8 out of 10 points, with the call out that repeat viewings may raise the score if the songs grow more on me. My first impression of them was solid, but not stellar. But with songs, at least for me, it is sometimes the case that I need to hear them several times before I really fall in love with them. And if that happens here, it of course raises the overall impression. Have you seen the movie yet? And if so, were you lucky enough to catch it in theaters? Do you agree with my rating or have a different take? If you haven't seen it, are you planning to do so? Whatever you like to say, share it in the comments. So much for now, see you next time and thanks for watching. On one hand I understand that streaming, as long as you don't ask for historic accuracy when it comes to the payment of circus performers, mother